Hey guys, making a video on more in depth of the statistics, my thoughts on the championship game. Um, and yeah, it was a pretty one sided game. Michigan really took control early on and stayed control. Um, I definitely saw Harbaugh definitely change throughout the seasons, but his demeanor is really what's changed the most during the playoffs. Um, Definitely a lot more loose. Um, really took in the moments and enjoyed the moments. And he did that a lot more this year than he has the previous years when they've been in the playoffs. They've been in the playoffs three times in the past 3 years. Um, his record is 40-3. Um, he has lost two playoffs. Um, they lost to TCU, and I forgot who it was the year before. I think it was Georgia. Might have been somebody else. I don't remember who it was. But anyways, so yeah, there was a huge change in that. But really getting into it, um, Washington just could not stop Michigan, and it was really apparent not after that first touchdown because I was like, doesn't look good. I'm already feeling like Michigan looks really good. Prove it to me that they're for real and do it again. And immediately they did it again. Two long running back runs, getting touchdowns. Oh my goodness! Just immediately from the start, they were on fire. And this is why didn't they do this against Alabama? I didn't understand it. They, I said that. So I have this list from when I made my on what predictions on what Michigan will need to do to win, and then I have another one of what Washington will need to do to win. And on just about every single thing I said they needed to do, they did. And I'll say it again, clean up the mistakes. I mean, that completely happened right there. Check on that. They did not have mistakes. I think they were fantastic. There was minimal flags on it, which Washington got into issues with flags. And I know there's a lot of people there talking about the refereeing. But the fact is that you should never be having to put yourself in the hands of the referees. I mean, yes, there were calls that did that were on some important plays, but it's really also understanding who the officials, where the officials are from, and what they're going to call. This is ACC officiating. That was for this game, and they're going to let the guys play in the championship. Like they're there, um, unless you're doing something way too much, and that's what was happening, and that's why those flags were called. And some people that were saying that there were other flags. Some of those were just missed. That's just how it is in the game. Some get called, some don't. Um, Other ones, I mean, you could have gone either way. And then there were some that were very blatant. Um, Not having discipline on the line. There was some very obvious and apparent false starts and um, offsides that were in the game on Washington. There was some on Michigan too, but mainly on Washington was making the mistakes, and they just looked like they were like completely like a fish out of water. It was just they looked confused, really from the get go. I don't know if it was because the stage was too big, the lights were too bright. I don't know, but this Washington team that played was not the same Washington team as played in other games, and I mean it's unfortunate that what happened what happened in the game is the way that Washington ends. But you gotta admit that Michigan's a really good team, and they proved it. And there's no doubt about it that they're the number one team. They are the national champions. They earned it. They had a stout defense. That was another thing that I said. Check that. But very stout defense. They had to have that. Michigan had to have that. And their defensive line gave Penix so much trouble. It eventually took him out of the game, Penix out of the game. He was making bad throws. Then they started having him run. They were literally, Washington was trying to go through, what can we do? Let's try this, let's try that. Literally throughout the whole game. And the defense stayed poised, and they were stout. They played stellar. They pressured the QB. That was another thing I had, and they totally did that. I mean, by the end of the game, Penix was absolutely grabbing his ribs. He was in a lot of pain. Poor guy. And, man, I hope he's feeling bad. I hope he gets seeing a doctor and getting a treatment and all that, because it looked like he was in so much pain. That might be a pretty big injury, and I hope it's not going to be something that affects him into the NFL draft kind of a thing. Look for the QB run, and that happened. QB runs were attempted, and it was, like I said, during the short run game, but also the red zone. And yeah, Penix ran the ball. I mean, I guess it's just that Washington, like, they knew that was going to have to happen. Washington and Michigan, with the running back being injured, and then you seeing him early on in the game still not being 100%. It was so apparent. Michigan, I said, stay close for the best results. They were close for most of the game. They kind of let Washington in a little bit, but it really just seemed like Michigan was taking a breather at that point. And then they woke back up, and that was it. And that's when they took off, and that was the game. But yeah, I mean, Michigan can have a big lead at one point, but careful to lose it. They shocked me on that one. They took a big lead late in the game. They had a decent lead. I think it was a 14-point lead. But yeah, about a 14-point lead earlier on. Then Washington got 3 points. But it wasn't Michigan that got 3 points first. I don't remember that part, but they played very well, and they did what I said Washington should do, which was play their hearts out and just try to get the first touchdown and run with it, and that's what Michigan did. Michigan slows down Washington, and they totally did. And I knew it was going to be a chess match, and Harbaugh totally won that. His experience in coaching both NFL and in college. Previously Stanford, previously was coach for 49ers, um, and even playing in the years that he's been coaching for Michigan. He used all the experience throughout this playoff. And the other part is patience pays off. None of the guys at any point were scrambling, were going crazy or anything. So they were very patient. And I mean, it goes back again to the fans. The fans have been patient with Harbaugh. Harbaugh, many people in the media were saying fire him not that long ago. They should get rid of him, blah, blah, blah. He's not going to win the championship at Michigan, blah, 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 blah. Which I didn't understand. Harbaugh has always been a wonderful coach. I have watched him since he was at Stanford. And he's amazing. And I mean, that's also why they got him. And that's the main thing. Why did Michigan get Jim Harbaugh? To win a championship. What happened? Harbaugh said they were going to win a championship, and he just delivered. So, this was a fantastic win for the fans, fantastic for Michigan, the players. I mean, the coaches, obviously. It really just goes down all the way down the totem pole of everyone who has helped this team get to the point of the winning a championship. And it's been a long few years, but boy, they done a good job. They have, and Michigan has been fantastic, and I just have to say 100%. Like I said earlier, I believe I had picked Washington. I thought Washington was going to win. I would have not been surprised if they won by 10 points because their offense is so high flying. I was wrong. And I feel like I had. This is better because a lot throughout the year, I've been a Michigan doubter. I thought that, they barely got by. They went through this team. They were not that good this year. Ohio State's just been kind of barely getting by. Michigan, they're a very solid team. But are they going to hold up against Alabama? Are they going to hold up in the playoffs, whoever they play, whether it's Texas or Washington? Oh my gosh, it's Washington after just playing a wonderful game against Texas and beating them. I don't know if they can handle them. Michigan proved that I was wrong in that prediction. And that's why college football is fun. And that's why I love the game. I am thrilled that I was wrong because I got to see Michigan probably play in the toughest game that they've had to play, which was against Alabama. So I got to see them at their toughest point, their struggling point, and I was at the Rose Bowl. So I felt like, oh my gosh, that was fantastic to be able to watch that game, see it live. So it was awesome. It's been an awesome season, an awesome year. Congrats to Michigan. 100% national champions. I don't care about the whole scrutinizing media thing about the refs. I take that all out. The other thing is about the whole stealing signs. I thought about it for a while throughout the season, and the reality is, I know there's other teams out there that are doing that too. It's just that he's been caught, but to be honest, it's not a big deal to me. It is what it is. But does that mean that he should not have a national championship? No. He proved in these playoff games, that they deserved it. So, anyways, hope you guys have a great day. a great night. Bye.